Good evening and welcome to City Limits, the show that provides you with information about the people, places, and events that shape the character of our community. Tonight joining me is Jeff Berg from Ameren, Missouri, and he's the program supervisor for energy efficiency. Big long title, isn't it?
It is. Thank you for having me, though.
Oh, you're welcome. This show tonight, we hope it'll help residents and viewers in our area to understand what some of the programs Ameren provides for the residents to get energy efficient.
Absolutely, and I think that's a good point. We have 7 residential programs, 4 business programs, and we're started them out in January of this year, and so we're definitely interested in getting the word out for people.
Okay. Now, how long have you been with Ameren?
I've been with Ameren for 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah, all in the energy efficiency programs.
Oh, that's got to be interesting, because that's the wave of the future. Everybody's trying to save energy.
It is, and we've made really some great progress with energy efficiency in the time that I've been there. Like I mentioned, our programs this year started January 1st of 2013, and it's a 3-year cycle of programs. This is actually the largest suite of energy efficiency programs in Missouri's history, and so we're really excited about having them out.
Sounds good. Well, let's talk about some of them. Let's start out, I guess we can start with the Cool Savers. Good title.
Sure, it is. And maybe before we head into the programs, just a little brief thing on energy efficiency itself and why we're interested in it, right? So I think everybody hears when they're growing up, turn off the lights, raise the thermostat on your heating and cooling, and those are all great things from a conservation standpoint. The thing about energy efficiency is it uses new or improved technologies to get the same performance out of your equipment without sacrificing comfort and saving it, and then you get to save energy on top of it. So, no matter how much you conserve, you're always going to be using lights, you're always going to be using your air conditioner in the summer, and when you marry the two, you can conserve, and then you can also still save energy while you're using your systems. And so that's kind of the benefits of having energy efficiency. And our programs are set up to ease that transition into adopting some of those new and more efficient technologies.
Mm-hmm. I notice, while we're talking about it in general, I notice most of your programs cover rebates for certain things. Now, for instance, like several years ago, they talked about the heat pump is more efficient than a regular air conditioner. Does this take into consideration that, or is it just that they replace more energy efficient appliances with what they currently have?
Sure, and we can certainly walk through them. Like, we have a real variety of rebates on different equipment. And so when you're talking about the heat pumps, that would fall under our Cool Savers program, which deals with air conditioning. And so we have some rebates if you have a central air conditioner. If you just want to replace that with the same central air conditioner and upgrade it to a more efficient unit, we have rebates for that. But then we also do have rebates for air source heat pumps and geothermal heat pumps, if you're interested. And so if you want to switch from a regular central air conditioner to that air source heat pump, which you're right is going to be a greater efficiency, we have rebates in that program for that as well.
Okay, so it's just kind of tiered to what different levels of energy efficiency. If you want to go with the current state-of-the-art, which is more energy efficient than you had years ago,
right?
Or that, and when you talk about you think about energy efficiency. I have a friend who replaced a washer recently. They had a washing machine that was probably 20 years old, and they replaced it. The new one uses less energy, runs less amount of time, plus uses less water. So, there's energy efficiency, there's availability of energy efficiency throughout your house, pretty much.
There is, and a good thing to look for when people are looking at different appliances, we do have a wide range of things that we cover in our programs, but there are some that we don't, like washers. But you can always look for the Energy Star label on there. And that's, if people aren't familiar with Energy Star, that's a program run by the EPA. And it's basically like a certification program. And so there are certain efficiency standards, and there are also quality standards as well. So like you talk about water savings. And so there's a whole bunch of things in terms of durability and quality, as well as the energy savings that are wrapped into that guide. And so when you're looking for appliances, that's certainly a good thing to look for.
Okay, so now there's energy, but I guess the points you're trying to make, there's energy efficiency in electricity, water.
Correct.
Windows, solar, I guess it would be, the light going through your windows and whatever. So there's a lot of ways to do energy and a lot of different avenues that people can save money.
Definitely.
Great, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and one thing that people may not think about is well, especially with light bulbs, is kind of the life of the product. And so one of our programs that we can talk about is Light Savers, where we rebate CFLs or LEDs. And another interesting aspect is, so an LED will have a 9-year lifetime, or sorry, a CFL will have a 9-year lifetime on average. An LED might have up to a 20-year lifetime. So not only are you saving electricity, but you're saving and not having to replace that bulb, at 2 years or 3 years, wherever you have to replace a standard incandescent bulb. So you're also saving in like purchasing costs along the way as well.
And then everything now is going to CFL and LEDs. I think the fluorescent tube and light bulb is going to be the way of the dinosaur shortly.
Well, yeah, you're right. Federal standards are going to be phasing out over the next couple years some of the standard incandescent household screw-in bulbs and going to CFLs. But the beauty of that is, like I said, you put one of those in. If you have an LED, it has a 20-year lifespan. They say you can buy one if you have a child, you can buy one and put it in their room, and you won't have to change it until they come home from college or they graduate from college. So yeah, it's you definitely save with those.
Well, that's a good thing. That's everybody wants to save, especially in today's economy. Okay, let's talk about some of Ameren's programs. Let's talk about Cool Savers. Let's start with that.
Sure, and Cool Savers is our HVAC program, and so we offer incentives for air conditioners and air conditioner repair. So like we talked about earlier, you can get up to $720. That's combined rebates if you upgrade your air conditioner to a new, more efficient air conditioner or an air source heat pump.
Okay, that's actually replacing the whole air conditioner? Or is
Correct.
When you said repairs, what are you referring to?
Well, we have two. We have equipment rebates, and then we also have a rebate for a tune-up, which is a $75 rebate. And a tune-up is really a great way to go. So if your system is functioning now, say you installed it 10 years ago, and the efficiency ratings that they use to kind of rate the air conditioners is called a SEER. And so you may have installed a 10 or a 12 SEER system 10 years ago, but over time it degrades, and you might only be getting 7 or 8 SEER, significantly less efficient now than it was then. And so what you can do with a tune-up, not only does it help extend the life of your system, but you can help bring that back up to closer to, if not at, the efficiency it was when you installed it. And so you can save money by getting that tune-up.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
kind of like your car.
Exactly.
Tune it up and it becomes more efficient, works better, and whatever.
That's a great analogy. I mean, it's say you get, everybody looks at the stickers on their cars. If you get 25 miles to the gallon when you buy it, 5 years later, if it's running, something's wrong with the spark plugs or whatever they would be, and now you're getting 20 miles to the gallon. If you go in and get it tuned up, you can get 23, 24, 25 miles to the gallon again. And it's the same thing with your air conditioner. The other set is the equipment rebates. And so we have kind of a number of different tiers of rebates. And if people go to actonenergy.com, we have it laid out real nicely on there. But if your air conditioner just dies, if you're in the heat and the hot weather this year, which we haven't had a terrible amount of, but we did have that one really bad stretch, and I'm sure being August in St. Louis, we're going to have another one. But if your air conditioner just dies and stops working, we have rebates in there to replace that with a more efficient system. And then we also have rebates to replace your system early. So if you've had it for 10 or 12 or 15 years and your air conditioner is still working, but it's a less efficient unit, we'll give a higher rebate to replace that early, so you can start saving now.
What is the efficiency rate? Do you happen to know what the efficiency rating of a good air conditioner is nowadays?
Well, for a central air conditioner, the federal minimum standard is 13 SEER right now. And so if anybody installs one, a new home, an existing home, it has to be at least 13. For air source heat pumps, it's 13 starting in 2015, I believe, January, it's going to move to 14 for our area. But then our incentives will incent people to move up from that. So the standard is 13, and our incentives incent people to go to 14, 15, or 16 or higher. And those are kind of our 3 tiers.
Oh, okay. How high? What's the highest?
The absolute highest, it's a good question. I mean, there's a lot of options over 16 SEER, and those will encompass having usually like an efficient motor included in there. But I think you can, 18, 20?
Holy cow.
But you get real significant savings by even jumping up from like 13 to 14, 15, or 16. And so for the most part, you're going to get some really good savings by making that smaller incremental, as opposed to going up to like the Cadillac of all air conditioners.
Plus, you'll have a nice cool house. You have a new air conditioner to cool your house really
Correct.
well, and you know, you got some money back to help you, and hey, life's good.
Absolutely, and that's something that people notice, I think, this time of year. You know, when it gets real hot, if they're noticing that it's not as cool coming out of their events, they can look at the tune-up. You know, maybe if you're not ready to make that leap into a new air conditioner or upgrading, you can do that tune-up this year, and then maybe next year think about moving forward with a more efficient system.
Sounds great. All right, let's talk about appliance savers. Now, it's got to be a good one too.
That is, and that's one that's really popular with our customers. And so that one, we're trying to incent folks, if they have an old refrigerator, working refrigerator that they have in their home, or if they have a new refrigerator, if they buy something new and they're thinking about keeping that old one, we're trying to give you some money to give that to us and take that off the grid, basically. So if you have an old refrigerator, you can use up to $100 a year, or you can, pay up to $100 a year in electricity costs to keep that refrigerator going. If you can part with it, you can save that money. And so what we do is we offer $50 rebate. If customers have those units, they can call into our a couple of ways. We actually have a video online that will show the process for walking through that. You can either call our program phone number, or you can go to actounenergy.com. And it's real simple. There's available dates. You can schedule a pickup. We'll come to anywhere in your home and pick those units up. And then we'll take them away and we'll recycle 95% of that unit, including all of the harmful, if there's any kind of mercury switches or oils or things that need to be reclaimed like that, we'll reclaim those as well.
Sounds good. Now, you know, if people do this, I'd like to remind them, don't put a refrigerator outside with the door on it. Don't leave it set outside. Kids like to play with them.
Oh, right, right.
You want to make sure that they don't set the refrigerator out at the curb, and, you know.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the qualifications for that program, since it is an energy efficiency program, is that the unit is working. And so one of the things that the folks, when you sign up, will tell you is we need to have that plugged in the night before. So typically, you just leave it wherever it's sitting. If it's in the garage, if it's in the basement, you can just leave it there. Keep it plugged in or plug it back in, and our guys will come in and they'll just haul it out. You have to do nothing. They'll go down to your basement, haul it up the steps, and take it away. So no need to stick it out on the curb.
Sounds like a winner. Yeah. Why does it have to be working?
Well, that's a good question. Basically because this is an energy efficiency program. And so the point of the program is to help our customers save energy. If that unit's no longer working, there's no energy savings to be had. And so we're looking to have our incentives go to folks that to help them, encourage them to save energy.
Okay, and did you happen to bring somebody said you were going to bring a refrigerator or parts for a refrigerator?
I have what's left of a refrigerator, actually. And so, like I mentioned, we have once we take that out of your home, we'll come from anywhere in the house and pick that refrigerator up. And then we take it to our recycling center, which is a dedicated center. And all we do there is recycle these refrigerators. Mm-hmm. We recycle 95%, including all the metal, glass, the insulation, plastic, and we do have about 5% of that unit that's non-recyclable. But for the most part, we get everything out of there, recycle it, and then reuse it.
Yeah, so you got on top of it. There's 159 pounds of metal in a typical refrigerator?
Yes, not technically in that box, but yes.
No, I mean, I'd be very strong if I lifted 159 pounds.
Right, but out of a typical, so we recycle refrigerators or freezers, but out of a typical unit, we'll get about 159 pounds of metal, 75 pounds of plastic, 10 pounds of glass, and about a pound of that foam insulation.
And 5% of non-recyclable.
Yeah, just odds and ends in there that we can't actually reclaim.
Yeah.
But the nice part is that it's not only are you getting the energy savings, but then we're keeping those refrigerators out of the landfills as well.
Well, that's a good thing. That helps. And when they recycle, I guess, what kind of products do you happen to know? What kind of products they make out of some of that stuff? Benches, tires, whatever?
I would assume all the above. I mean, basically, it's sold back into the recycling product market. So we don't specifically sell to like a specific manufacturer for the recycled materials. But
sounds good. Okay, Jeff, and you had mentioned that there's a video about this, so we're going to watch that video right now.
Hi, I'm Jeff, one of Ameren, Missouri's energy efficiency experts. Want to stay cool by upgrading your old air conditioner with a new, more efficient one, or tuning up the one you have now? With the Cool Savers program, you can get up to $720 cash back. Here's how. Signing up is easy. Go to actonenergy.com for a list of contractors offering our rebates. Click on the Cool Savers program. You'll see a list of available rebates and a link to find a participating contractor. Enter your zip code and select the type of upgrade you're interested in. A list of available rebates appears, and you select the rebate you want. This gives you a random list of all participating contractors serving your zip code. If you're selecting from the list, we recommend contacting at least 3 contractors for comparison. You can use your contractor if they're listed, or have them contact the program to join. You schedule an appointment with your contractor as you normally would, and your contractor will be able to tell you what rebates you qualify for. Your contractor performs all the work for you, and then they turn in the paperwork on your behalf. And in 6 to 8 weeks, you'll see your rebate. Programs to help you save. How cool is that? Hi, welcome to MyCube. I'm Jeff, one of Ameren, Missouri's energy efficiency experts. Do you have an old refrigerator or freezer? Those old units can guzzle a lot of electricity. So to help you take control of your bills, Ameren, Missouri has launched the Appliance Savers program. We'll come to your home, pick those old units up, recycle them, and give you $50. Here's how you can participate. Signing up is easy. Either call our toll-free number or visit actonenergy.com. There, you can select the Appliance Savers program and click the link to schedule your appliance pickup. Enter your Ameren, Missouri electric account number, and you'll see available dates for your area. Select a date, or none of the above for a program representative to contact you with other dates. Verify and complete your information and answer a few quick questions about your appliance. You'll receive a phone call the day before your date to set a pickup window, and a call when the driver is on their way. You don't lift a finger. The pickup team removes the appliance from your home, wherever it's located. 95% of your appliance is recycled, and in 6 to 8 weeks, you'll see your rebate. $50, how cool is that?
Hope you've learned something from this video. Now, everybody should know how to do it, and they should be able to participate in the program now.
Yeah, and I think the nice thing about looking through that is it really is simple. Like, you can simply go to actonenergy.com, or you can call in, and it's a very smooth process.
Mm-hmm. And in case somebody wants to watch that video again, we'll put a notice at the very bottom of our show when we finish up here of how they can go to online and watch that again. So
Sure.
I'm sure they'll have a lot of interest in it. All right, let's talk a little bit about Lightsavers now. That's another program you have.
Yeah, and this is a really popular program as well. And so what we're doing here is we're incenting folks to move to more energy efficient lighting. You know, we talked about air conditioning and heating before. That's probably the top energy user in a home. 50 to 60% of regular or average person's energy bills are devoted to heating or cooling. After that is water heating, and then probably coming in a close third is lighting. And so what our program does is we incent folks to buy Energy Star CFLs or LEDs. And we do that by working through retailers. And so we we work with retailers and manufacturers, and we discount the light bulbs through them so that you have an instant rebate at the point of purchase. When folks go online, they can put their zip code in, and they can find retailers in their area. We have over 100 retailers, including all the big box stores, some dollar stores, and you can get some really good deals. With the CFLs, they use about a quarter of the energy that a standard incandescent has used in the past. So if you replace them, especially in your high traffic areas, you know, it's always good to start off small and work your way up, right? And so I think the lighting program is one of our good programs where you can kind of start small. If you have a high traffic area, if you have a place where you sit and read all the time, or maybe if you have the dining room where you're always sitting and having meals, you can replace 1 or 2 light bulbs and start off with, and just kind of build from there. And then in the end, you'll save, you know, up to 75% on the lighting that you have.
Well, that's something you use every day. I mean, everybody uses light bulbs, so
exactly.
It's an instant savings that people can put the money in their pocket.
It is, and we're coming up in the winter, and we're going to have the longer nights and using more lighting, so it would be a good time to replace a couple of those. Another option we have, in addition to working with the retailers, is we have our online store, and you can find that at actonenergy.com as well. So there you can just go on, you can order the bulbs online, and then they ship them right to your home. And right now we have a pretty good deal with a pack for 12 CFLs for $9 with free shipping. And so even easier than going to a retailer, you can go online, you can order some, and they can send it right to your door.
Sounds good. Now, we've been talking about residential, okay? You also have business things, and let's just jump over here to the business side of it for a minute. There's also, what type of lighting program do you have for business? Because, a lot of businesses have these big fluorescent tubes that you're not going to be able to get anymore, so they're going to have to change over. So what's some of the incentives?
Sure, and the business programs are set up a little bit different, but they're all under the umbrella of Biz Savers. And so if you go on, again, to actonenergy.com, you can click For My Business and look at kind of a list of the programs. But the way they're set up is they'll have a list of standard incentives, so things like you're talking about, like kind of standard lighting that a business would have. We'll have some standard incentives for replacing this bulb with that bulb, and with $1 incentive attached to it. And so a business can certainly go through there and see what kind of standard incentives they might be interested in taking part in. The other piece of it is, the residential, we have just set incentives for all of our measures. With the business, you can really take advantage of pretty much any cost-effective, energy-efficient measure that a business would want to put in. And so we also have kind of a custom set of measures, or a custom path that a business can go down. And the easiest way to take advantage of that would be just to call the program line, which is on actonenergy.com. And the program staff can really walk them through, what measures, what do they use in their business? Do they have predominantly lighting? Is it more cooling? What specifically they can take advantage of, and if they can identify all those cost-effective measures in their business. In
other words, which they get the biggest bang for their buck based on their particular business you address. That's
right.
Good thing.
Yeah, and it's good for businesses, but I think we all know business people, right? We all know somebody who might own a small business, or restaurant, or be involved in our church or in a school as well that can take advantage of those.
Yeah. Well, predominantly in like a community like Blackjack, it's basically small businesses. We don't have large manufacturing type businesses. So, this would be right up their alley. So I kind of wanted to touch on that before we run out of time to make sure I ask you something about it. Let's jump back now to residential, and let's talk about rebate savers. You've got a bunch of different ones. And let's talk about some of those.
We do, yeah. And so this is along similar lines of the lighting program, but we're incenting folks to, we have a number of products that we're incenting people to increase efficiency on. And so we have smart strips, which helps you can plug your appliances in there, and it will basically help you turn those appliances off when you're not using them. So it's, kind of along the lines of the conservation piece, but for those of us who have a little bit harder time remembering to do that when we leave the room. And we also have a couple of water heating options. And I think I mentioned before, that's the second highest usage of energy in a home behind heating and cooling. And so we have incentives for if you have an electric hot water heater, going to a more efficient hot water heater, and then also moving to a heat pump water heater. And that's a kind of a newer technology, similar to the heat pumps that we talked about with the Cool Savers program. It actually uses an air exchange with the air, the ambient air in your basement, to kind of get the heat that way. So much more efficient. And we have a $300 rebate for those right now. Okay.
So we can, number one, you do thermostats, right?
Correct.
You do thermostats?
That's the one I forgot. Correct, okay. Yes.
You do water heaters. You mentioned earlier about the air conditioners. I'm kind of looking at your list here, and if anybody wants some of these listings, stop by City Hall and pick up a list of everything, all the rebates and stuff that Ameren has.
And you did mention thermostats, and that's a good point as well. That's in the Rebate Savers program, and we also include them in the Cool Savers program. So you can go out and buy it yourself and get a rebate through that avenue. And with the Rebate Savers, it's set up a little bit differently. Those are actually mail-in rebates. Or when you're getting your new system installed, or if you're getting a tune-up through an HVAC contractor, you can have them install a thermostat and have them set it and everything. And then there's a rebate for that as well.
Oh, okay. So there's a lot of rebates available to people to take advantage of and get energy efficient.
Yeah, there are a lot. And I think the nice thing about our programs is they're really set up so you can kind of start small if you want to, and you can work your way up. You can start by replacing like one light bulb in your living room, all the way up to our Construction Savers program, which is an efficient new construction program if you want to buy like an Energy Star home, and things in between, like the Cool Savers program. And kind of the nice thing about talking to you at this point in our program, so we have a 3-year program cycle, which we started in January. That's going to run through the end of 2015. And so if people go online and they look at our programs, they kind of think, you know, hey, that sounds neat, but I'm not quite ready to replace my air conditioner yet. You can start with something small, like the lighting, you know, and keep that in mind. Keep those other things that you might have on kind of your energy efficiency wish list. Keep them in mind because they're going to be there for another 2.5 years, and you can look at it, you know, next summer or next fall.
You kind of spread your spending out over a 3-year period. It makes it real nice for the homeowners.
Yeah, you don't have to do everything at once. You can make the little incremental changes, and you'll definitely, you know, still get the benefit.
Sounds great. Well, as we begin to wrap up here, a question I ask everybody.
Yes.
If you're in the St. Louis area, I'm sure you know what's coming. What high school did you go to, Jeff?
I actually went to Parkway South in West County.
Parkway South.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
It's been a couple of years, but that is
Hey.
where I went. Yep.
hey, it's where you went to high school, and that's what, for whatever reason, that's what everybody asks. Okay, we're going to have some of these pamphlets and information about the different programs. We'll have it here at City Hall available if anybody wants to pick it up. We'll also put on the website a indication of where they can get more information, and I assume they can call someone down at Ameren, and you'll give us a number.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you can probably we'll probably look at linking that to actonenergy.com. We have, and it's real simple. Like you go on there, you have your brochure that has the programs listed, and it's kind of set up the same way. You have a home page. You can click for my home or for my business, and we list our programs. And we also have individual numbers for the specific programs that you can call on there as well.
Sounds great. Yep. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate the interview.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching our show this evening. If you have any questions for me, you can contact me at www.cityofblackjack.com or call me at area code 314-355-0400. Thank you for watching. Good evening.
Hi, welcome to My Cube. I'm Jeff, one of Ameren, Missouri's energy efficiency experts. Do you have an old refrigerator or freezer? Those old units can guzzle a lot of electricity. So to help you take control of your bills, Ameren, Missouri has launched the Appliance Savers program. We'll come to your home, pick those old units up, recycle them, and give you $50. Here's how you can participate. Signing up is easy. Either call our toll-free number or visit actonenergy.com. There, you can select the Appliance Savers program and click the link to schedule your appliance pickup. Enter your Ameren, Missouri electric account number, and you'll see available dates for your area. Select a date, or none of the above for a program representative to contact you with other dates. Verify and complete your information and answer a few quick questions about your appliance. You'll receive a phone call the day before your date to set a pickup window, and a call when the driver is on their way. You don't lift a finger. The pickup team removes the appliance from your home, wherever it's located. 95% of your appliance is recycled, and in 6 to 8 weeks, you'll see your rebate. $50, how cool is that?